Yo, what's good YouTube, and welcome back to another video. And in today's video we're going to be going over all of the best traits for the different meta units, because I know in my Discord there has been a couple people confused about what traits go on what characters and whether Requiem is better for certain units or whether Almighty is better for different units. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and show you guys the key sort of things to look out for when you are looking to see what you want to roll for, and also better alternatives than Requiem and Almighty, because I'm not going to lie, I know a lot of people out there that have spent thousands and thousands of rerolls just to try and get Almighty or Requiem, because it can be a very big pain, especially say if you're going for Almighty and you get Requiem, or if you're going through Requiem and get Almighty. It is the most painful thing in the world, because you're then there like, do I keep this or do I roll for the one that's actually good for my unit? But before we do get into the video, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and let me know down in the description below what you guys, not the description, what am I talking about, down in the comments below what you guys want to see from me, because I'll get it up as soon as I possibly can, because I need some video ideas, because this game doesn't really have much content right now, considering the updates every 2 weeks. So I'll catch you guys when I'm talking about it. Alright, so what I'm going to start off with first is saying what you guys can do instead of getting the Requiem or the Almighty. Almighty is kind of hard to make a bad version of unless you get super lucky, but Requiem, there is a good way to get it. So either getting Sonic plus the Hunter 3, because the Hunter 3 gives you a 15% range, and then the Sonic gives you a minus 20% cooldown. So you're actually getting more cooldown and the same amount of range, but you're just missing out on the damage. But for most units that take Requiem, you're not really needing the damage. So as you guys can see right here, I have an even more bootleg version. I have Swiftness 3 and Hunter 2 on my Demon King, because he is a unit that does take Requiem. He is better with Requiem over having Almighty. So with me having Swiftness 3 and the Hunter 2, so the Hunter 2 gives me 12.5%, and then the Swiftness 3 gives me minus 12% cooldown, which is actually more than that, and I'm only missing out on a little bit of range. But the Demon King's range is big enough anyway, so for now, until I get hundreds and hundreds, and maybe even thousands and thousands of reroll tokens, I'm just going to leave my Demon King as he is. Obviously, I still need to evolve him, because right now he would go to a triple S, which is very good. But what I'm saying is the way you figure out if a unit is Requiem, so if it's a normal unit that is an attack unit that isn't a support unit, having Requiem is decided of how many placements it's got. If the unit only has 2 placements, then Almighty is better, because Almighty will be able to do more damage than the 2 placements. If it does have more than 2 placements, just like Demon King down here who has 4 placements, then Requiem will be the better thing on him, because Requiem allows it to go on all 4 units, also buffing damage, range and cooldown, meaning that the overall damage output from the Demon King, with having 4 of them down compared to only having 1 down, will actually be significantly higher. Just like with Gojo, I got Requiem on him, which wasn't actually good. The Almighty was better. That's why I did sell my Requiem Gojo for a decent amount of gems. People still buy them, but obviously an Almighty Gojo goes for 1.2 million, whereas a Requiem Gojo goes for about 550k, maybe even 600k, depends how lucky you get. So for most units in the game, especially things like the Pink Demon Mage and the Ice Dragon and the Donut Warrior and maybe even Bloomer, but I would highly suggest just getting Midas Touch on most of these farm units. But if you're very unlucky when getting Midas Touch, anything that increases range, there's no point in doing cooldowns because they're both a timed ability, so anything that increases range is good, especially for the Pink Demon Mage. Obviously not for really for the Pink Rockstar, but the Pink Demon Mage, you can get range on her, but like I said, obviously go for Midas Touch. And if you guys don't know what Midas Touch does, is if you come down here, Midas Touch gives you a 15% more money earned when having the unit down. So having that on money units is very good, because we all want to get that money super fast. Then for other units, such as the Ice Dragon, getting Requiem is good on her, because obviously she has multiple placements. You want her to be doing a decent amount of damage, but you also want her cooldown to be on the lowest as possible. Obviously, if you can't get Requiem, I would suggest going for Sonic. Right now, I've got Sonic on mine, because obviously I want the cooldown on her abilities to be the lowest as possible. And obviously, I need to go do some rank rerolls and stuff, but I need to go buy myself some Frostbinds, because Frostbinds seem to be the absolute bane of me, because I seem to be using hundreds and hundreds of them. But you know what? it is what it is. This game, I feel like it's going to get taken out by Anime Vanguard soon, but I will have a video coming out, I'm not too sure when, of all the sneaks from Anime Vanguard, just so you guys that don't know about the game or are not in their Discord can see what to look forward to and what to expect. Then for any other unit, also Bullseye is good on these ones because obviously it increases their range and you want their range to be as high as possible. But obviously when you get the Ice Dragon Queen, she does have a full AoE, so having something like Bullseye, so getting Sonic 1 and Bullseye on these ones would be the absolute perfect thing if you couldn't get Requiem. But obviously for the normal units of the mythics, obviously getting Almighty, if they have a 2 placement, getting Almighty on them will be way better. But it doesn't always come down to the placement. So say if, like, I don't know, say the Cursed Prince, he does have a 3 placement, I do believe, but Almighty is still better on him just because he's more of just a pure focused damage unit. But when it comes to the secrets, obviously you need to be getting the right things. So I think Demon King might be the only one that does require Requiem. I think most of the other ones are indeed Almighty. I could be wrong on that, but there was a debate when Gojo first came out whether Requiem or Almighty was better for him. But obviously, you know, you've just got to think about it yourself and depending on what you want to use him as, because personally I was using my Gojo as a full support. I wasn't really using him for damage because when I did have my Icarus, which I don't have anymore because I was lending it off a friend and he does have that back now, but when I did have my Icarus, I was using him as my main DPS and using Gojo as the support. But this one I'm going to try and make it the kind of somewhat decent damage but mainly a support as well, and have a high level other units. I haven't really been grinding the game too much. I've been grinding another game that just came out recently. It's like a different game that isn't on Roblox, but you guys don't really care about that, do you? I'm just waffling at this point. And like I said, if you guys are new around here, subscribing does really help. We just hit 1.5k and I'm really helpful and really grateful for that, and it does mean a lot to me. And like I said, join the Discord, which is linked in the description, to know when I'm streaming, and I do giveaways in my streams of the mythicals I do get, you know, because these are basically impossible to sell to people anyway, so I might as well give them to people that do need them. But I will catch you guys in the next video, and it has been says, ka-ciao.